You don't want to make the mistake of solely thinking as an entrepreneur when you are creating your content. I have been on both sides of the end where I have done influencing and thinking like a content creator, and then I've also done, business owner and thinking as an entrepreneur. And I can tell you the sweet spot is being able to have both. I want to make sure that you're going to have both, because this is the exact thing that makes you stop chasing after your client and you get them to come to you in the first place, and you get to finally stand out. Welcome back to the podcast. It is me, your host, Malika, content creator, entrepreneur, and your girl to personal branding. Now, you all know, okay, or maybe you don't know, but I have done influencing. I have been the influencer that getting to create content for brands and doing all this connecting with building a community that was obsessed with me. And I've also done creating content solely for my business to acquire clients. Here's the thing. The people who stand out with their business, they're not solely thinking as an entrepreneur, as oh my God, every post needs to convert. Every post needs to acquire me clients. Every post needs to get me paid. Because there are posts that are just meant for connection. There are posts that is just meant to acquire visibility from the right people, okay? Not fucking random people who will never become your client. Think of the people that you love to follow and that you love to consume their content. It's probably not the person who's always being this is how I'm gonna solve your problem. This is what you need to book with me. This is why it's probably the person that you can literally connect with. It's probably the person who is able to make you connect with them, make you care about them, while also simultaneously showing you why they are the best at what they do and hitting all your pain points as a client. And you're like, oh my God, yes, this is the person I want, right? And so this is done through having a balance of both, right? You don't want to be this influencer type that's just this is the thing in my life, right? And that's all you post. But you also don't want to be never trying to convert in your content, right? So it's about having a balance between both, but in a way that still feels obviously authentic, because you don't want to be out here feeling you feel pushy, or you're feeling oh my God, this is so fucking forced. It doesn't feel like me. And that is the beauty in building an online presence around who you are. This combination is the most powerful. Why? Because this is the combination that builds your personal brand. And most people will think, oh, well, I'm posting content, so I am building my personal brand, or I'm building my brand. No. Posting content doesn't necessarily mean you are building your personal brand, okay? And we will get more into that. So your content answers who exactly this is for. And I don't mean you're saying this is for single moms who are 30 years old and have 2 children. Okay, I'm not saying that, okay? I'm saying more in the sense of we can clearly see that you are talking to a very, very specific kind of person, okay? Because I see this so much where people are kind of afraid to get more specific with who they want to be helping or who their service is for, because they're oh my God, I don't want to cut off these other people because I could technically help these other people. And I kind of want to help everyone because I know that what I have to offer is can help this person and this person and this person. And I'm okay, amazing. Yes, you could help everyone in the entire world. Here's the thing though. If you're for everyone, no one will feel seen in your content. So if I'm out here and I'm waving, hey, this for everyone, how many people do you think is gonna turn around and be that is so me? That is so me. Probably none. Probably fucking none. Next thing is going to be how you position your offer properly. Okay. So I had a conversation with someone who is a nail tech, and she was like, I want to like raise my price, but I feel like I can't because I keep attracting these clients who, they don't really see the value in like, that what I do, or like they're kind of like always like hard clients, or like they're not like the good clients that I want to have. And she was like, I feel like I can't just like raise my price like that. Like it's not really gonna work, And yes, like she is right to a certain extent, right? The reason why you can't raise your rate is because of how you position your offer. If you're just positioning your offer as like, basically you're just posting videos of like, this is the nails that I do, and you don't like up the value of your service, then of course you can't like you can't raise your price. And if your content is attracting not the kind of client who will be willing to pay that price, then of course you can't raise your price, right? And so that also ties into like, who exactly is it for, right? If it's for everyone, then you're probably not going to get the clients that you want. And how you position your offer properly, right? And this is that you have, a coaching service, or that you have an in-person service. Like, this is not something that you are taught, okay, to do. And this is something that I had to learn the hard way, which is like being able to position your service in a way that number one is attract the right people, but number two shows what, like, basically mirrors what your clients dream of. Like, you become the reflection for what they want. And so by investing in you, they are basically getting reflected back the very thing that they crave. Okay, so this is how you position your offer properly. Next thing is obviously going to be mixing your content creator brain with an entrepreneur brain. Okay, so this is where you really hit the jackpot, and I want to get deeper into this. But first, I want to share with you my experience with filming around other people, because I seen how much so many people could relate to this on my IG story, and I was like, let's bring it to the podcast. I have been creating content for such a fucking long time. Like, I have been creating content for such a long time. If you've been following me on Instagram, I have been doing this ever since I was literally in high school. And I cannot tell you the amount of time that I have felt so annoying for filming, that I have felt so annoying for posting, that I have felt so annoying for like being around other people and being the only one who's like, oh, let's take a picture of this. Oh, let me take a selfie. Oh, let me take a video of us walking in this beautiful place right now. And let me like talk to myself on my phone so that I can nurture my community. I have felt so fucking annoying, okay? I felt so fucking annoying to the point where like it literally dimmed down my passion for content creation because I felt restricted. Because there was other people around me that made me feel bad, or made me feel like it wasn't the right time to film, or it wasn't appropriate to film, or that, oh, this is just a moment between us, like we shouldn't be filming. All these things, okay, which valid, okay, you have your own things. But that did kind of start to like really make content creation more rigid for me. I realized that like, this is something that made me feel less connected with my community, because I am the kind of person who will just pull out my fucking phone in the middle of a fucking dinner and be like, hey, this is me. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, okay, is because I don't want this to happen to you, okay? Because when you are creating content for your business, okay, as an entrepreneur, you will be faced with other people feeling insecure around you, with other people being like, maybe not the best time, or like don't take pictures here in public, like, oh my god, don't bring your LED light here in public. Oh my god, it's happened so many times for me where I was just like, we are in public, I want a fucking picture, I bring my LED light, okay? It's like this it's very bright, especially when you're in the dark and like you are taking pictures in the middle of a public place. And it happened to me so many times where it's like, oh my god, like, are we done now? Like, so embarrassing. And this has just made me more and more realize like, oh my god, like, I literally cannot be around people who are insecure like that. Like I can't do it. Like, because it literally affects me and it affects how I perform with my business, with how I create my content, with how I feel with my community, with how I connect with my content, right? With how I connect with my passion. And so that is also something to watch out for, like, right? Like if you yourself feel like kind of restricted to talk about certain things, to share certain things in your content, to express yourself the way you want to express, does this happen because you are thinking of certain people? Does this happen when you are around certain people? You have to really like notice these things, because you want to be able to be performing at your fullest self, because that is when you get to be the most magnetic you could ever fucking be. And that is the kind of things that when you are not trying to be liked, but you are simply filter out the right fucking people to you, that is when you attract those dreamy, aligned fucking clients, because you are bold, you are living your truth, and you are building an online presence that is very reflective of who you are, of your values, of how you fucking think, all the above, and you're not hiding, right? You're not hiding, and you're just being your fucking self. And that feels much more inspiring to create content. I can tell you that. When you are not hiding, you get so much more inspired, and that is when, you know, the content creator brain kind of ties in. Because if you are solely thinking as a business owner, oh my God, I need to be professional. Oh my God, I need to have this strict kind of content flow that like, this is how my content should be. This is how I should present myself. By like, the creative flow here is not being ignited, okay? We are killing the fire to your creativity. So this is really about like removing those restrictions, removing these fucking people that make you feel bad, okay? So that you can be in your fullest potential. Now, finally, let's touch into mixing your content creator brain with your entrepreneur brain. Okay, so this is when I really want you to ask yourself, what are the things that I love consuming? What are the things that like really catch my attention when I am scrolling on Instagram, or I'm scrolling on TikTok, or I'm watching YouTube? Like, what are the things that really catch my attention? And like, thing is, your client will probably also feel the same way, because they will probably be a match with you, right? And whatever you resonate with is probably whatever your ideal client will also resonate with. And so you can start looking at, okay, what are the things that gets me so hooked and so entertained? And then how can I mix that in with, you know, what I do, what I want to be known for? Right? Like, how can you mix both of these things together? How can you mix being a content creator and being entertaining, and also mixing that with your business? Now, I'll give you a perfect example, right? If you are about to launch something and all I'm seeing is just the launch itself, like that is just thinking as a business. That is just being like, I'm just going to show you the finished product when it's polished, when it's perfect, when everything is good. But if I were to be building my personal brand, I would show you the behind the scenes. I would show you the journey to launching that thing. I would show you like literally kind of pieces about like me creating that thing. I would show you like, oh my God, this is me talking about like what I'm building. I'm like sharing the process with you. I'm bringing you along as if you were my friend, as if you were like someone that like is in my team, and I'm bringing you along, right? So that is kind of like the difference between just thinking as a business owner, just as an entrepreneur, versus wanting to be like, hey, oh my God, let me bring you along, and we are in this together as as a content creator brain. Once you start creating content that builds your personal brand, this is when you will not rely on outreach, on cold DMs, on like words of mouth, on solely referrals, on, you know, recommendation. This is when your content starts doing the heavy lifting for you. This is the thing that attracts your most aligned, dreamiest clients to you, that are so fucking excited to work with you, to be in your energy. They love your personality. They literally talk about you to your friends like you're literally their bestie, okay? And they love what you do. They're sold on you, and they want specifically you without any hesitation, okay? Next is stop trying to make everything look so polished and start making everything look more real, right? So if all I'm seeing is like these perfect Canva like slides, and like they're all perfect, and like the wording is perfect, your wording is so polished, and like it's not giving the same vibe as if you were to be so real and raw and literally talk in your authentic voice, even if it's just like word on your slides. Having slides that are like real picture, raw picture of you is also more authentic. It feels like we can connect more, because when it's too polished and perfect, sometimes it can just feel like we overlook it, right? Because we can't like really connect because we don't feel like it's a real person. Does that make sense? The next thing that I want you to remember is that, again, people come on social media to be entertained and to have conversation, to have things that inspire them, that lights them up, right? And so I don't want you to think in this strict, polished, professional way. I don't want you to think like that. I want you to to think like multifaceted, because you are multifaceted, right? And I'm not saying like put all your fucking life and shit that like have nothing to do with what you want to be known for. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, how can we start incorporating more some of that like personality, opinions, like your behind the scenes, your thought process, like real conversation that you have with people. How can we start incorporating that in so that it feels more genuine? It feels more like I can connect with you and who you are as a person. Because at the end of the day, your personal brand is what sells them on you, on wanting you, or on wanting to pay your rate, on wanting to be your client, on wanting to be in your presence, on wanting to be around you or be coached by you or have your service, right? That is what it is selling them on altogether, if we're rounding it all up now. I'd love to know if you think we should do maybe a mini series on this so that you can start building a powerful fucking personal brand that gets clients straight to you. So let me know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, or leave a review if you are tuning into the podcast. As always, if you love this episode, send it to someone, share it to a friend. Take a screenshot and share it on your story and tag me on Instagram. I'm at Malika Birobi, and I'll meet you back here next week. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave your 5-star rate and review on the podcast. I love to know what you guys think of the episodes, and I will meet you here next week.